Reserve and FAA entitlements. The apron expansion is an FAA and an MDOT reimbursable project with a total final cost of 5% or $35,000.
He's not here tonight. His dad passed away. So, yeah, I guess the long and short of it, that's all part of the airport master plan that they've been looking at. And I can send you folks an email from Shane that he had sent down to Lance. I got a copy of it, but as that says, the reimbursable part of the project is $35,000 to get a $700,000 acre expansion done. And
But there's money in that reserve account, though, so it's not really coming out of any budget other than that reserve account.
Right. Yeah. Yep, and part of that's an apron expansion, and they also have a taxiway that they want to improve. They're gonna actually bypass one of the current ones because it comes into the main runway at an angle, and they like it to be at a 90 degrees. So when the planes come out, they actually come onto the runway straight onto it, so you can look in both directions instead of coming out in an angle to look back over your shoulder. So that's all part of that.
Any other questions on
No? So you want a recommendation?
Yes, please.
I'll make a recommendation to approve, to send to the full council for approval an apron extension at the airport in the amount of $700,000.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? Move forward with our approval.
I can't vote.
I'm wondering though, should we correct that for 35,000, or do we need a 700,000 in that?
Well, we could.
It's a 35 that we'd actually.
Well, but we can save $700 with funding to, as
Okay.
mentioned in the
Right.
recommendation.
Right.
Okey-dokey.
Yeah.
Okay. Next item is sale of city property. The committee will discuss the possible sale of a piece of city property on Cliff Street. And is Cliff Street on French Island?
Yes, right beside the park off in Bosworth.
Wait, where?
Right beside the park off in Bosworth.
Oh, Bob.
The park?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
from
to
Bosworth,
play
just before you
the
get to the
old
park, it goes left down over to
Okay, I know
Howard.
where it is then, all right.
Yep.
Isn't it where the priest used to live? Wasn't that on the corner of that street? You don't
Hey.
live there now, obviously, but okay.
Yeah.
Not a priest, but the name, the family.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. Not familiar. The way this came up is we had somebody approach the city that owns the house at 4 Cliff Street that is for sale. She's present in the back of the room. And her agent, real estate agent, approached us because the parking spot, and I don't know if I get you some aerials, but I'm not sure that this would be a much better thing to pass around. It's just a picture. We'll pass that around. That parking spot, the paved parking spot, is what we're talking about. It's a parking spot that has been used at that house, nearest we can tell, for about 30 years. It's not, I took Public Works Director John Rule up to take a look at it so that we could make an informed decision to speak to Bill about it. And it doesn't interfere with the functional use of the park. It is part of the park lot, but it's, as you can see when you look at that picture, it is and has been always used as the parking area for this house. Anecdotally, what we're told is 30-some years ago, and I can track that through deeds, there was a land swap. So the land used to stop right at the frontage of the house. So there was a land swap, so the city gave this person a little more land, and then that person gave the city some land out back to increase the size of the park out back, but it just didn't include this parking spot. So what we're told is that her father or grandfather had always had a working agreement with them that they could park there, and that's just the way it's been for 30 years. Took John Rule up, we looked at it. Realistically, what we're seeing through my experience, my former occupation, and him with plowing and stuff, people aren't parking on this side, on the Cliff Street side of the park anyways. When they're using the park up there, they park on the Bosworth Street side. There's a large section of gravel down through there. So he's in the back room, he certainly can speak for himself, but when we looked at it, he felt that the best thing to do was if we could move forward with this sale, if the council feels right, and then possibly use that money to improve where people are parking already, as opposed to try to change them and get them to park somewhere else, maybe improve that area, cut out a little bit of sod, put some better gravel in there, things like that, to have it would actually increase their available parking spots and the quality of what's there. So that's kind of a side note. But the bottom line is they've approached the city to ask about purchasing this area, which basically amounts to paved, where those piece of grants come out, there's, goes into that grass just a little bit right there, as your diagram shows. We looked at some sales, such as the one behind the Elks Club. You'll remember there was a piece that was sold to Fur Warders. It's a little bit different because that's just some back lot with no road access like this is. The city certainly paved this at one point in the past, so we figured out the square footage price based on what that one was and added a little bit to it. That calculation came out to about $3,500 just to compare the two. I mean, you certainly can do what you wish, but that's what that calculation came out to about. Certainly if we had to go pave a spot like that today, it would probably cost that and then some. But, this is a piece that's been used like this for some time. Not sure what the council would like to do with it, but that's the information we have so far.
But why is it because the house is being sold? Is that the reason why that they need to have that lot, or?
Yeah, the gentleman that owned it passed away, so the family is trying to clear the estate, and through some potential buyers that have backed off, what they've told me, because that parking spot wasn't deeded to the house. So there's no ability to put it in, because when you get on the side of the house or on the other side of the house on the back, the terrain is so steep you'd never be able to park there.
So there's no available parking at all unless it's in that area there?
Correct. That'd be my assumption. Yes, that's what you're being told? Yeah, okay. So, but looking at the lot, I agree with what you just said. Yes, there's no other area for a parking space. That's probably why it's been used like this for 30 years.
Yeah. Any questions?
It's hard to sell a house with no parking.
It is.
Yeah. And don't use it for anything else, really, or it never has been, so it's.
John and I's assessment is it doesn't affect the park
Yeah.
to do this, so.
I like the idea of using it, though, to fix up a parking area and another area, so that way it's being used for the purpose of the park.
I agree. That would, as you all know, that would just take your wording in the final motion to direct that money to go for that purpose when it comes in.
Any other questions from the committee? Hearing none, do I hear a motion?
I move to recommend this item to the full council for approval.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor? Moves forward with our approval. Legal service contract. The committee will discuss renewing the legal services contract with Rudman and Windshield.
Basically, our legal services contract is year to year, and this comes up every year. The only change in this year's contract is their hourly rate is gone from $175 to $185 per hour. That's the first and only change that we've had in that contract since 2012. So it's been several years. I don't really think 5.5% or so increase is too much in our hourly rate, and it's certainly within our budgeted numbers here, barring anything unsuspected happening. So.
I think, is this on the agenda later on, too?
Actually, it was sort of, was that the one that was squeezed in at the,
Yes.
at the last minute?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's on the consent agenda?
So-
No?
But it didn't have council signed to it.
So we don't need to even move it forward, right? It's already on there.
Sorry, on the Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'll recommend that we move this to the full council for approval.
Second.
All in favor? So moved. Moving forward. Item number 5, assessment grant. The city manager is requesting authorization to expend $14,000 from fund balance for cleanup of the PCBs at the Jefferson Street School.
We can get potentially a pre-award from that assessment grant that we just got as of July 1st, but we won't get reimbursed for it until October. So The folks who want to develop that would like to get that part of it done as soon as they can. If we spent that money, we'd get reimbursed for it in October. I have to get that cleared through EPA, which I'm in the process of doing that. If they deny that, then I won't expend the funds, but if they say it's okay, I want to try to have the funds available so we can get that done and then get reimbursed in October for it.
So, there are PCVs on the property.
In the red paint in the cellar floor.
We used to have Jim on them. Solid gold. Well, that explains a lot, doesn't it? So, you said we could get the $14,000
Right.
back.
We will.
We
If
will,
they,
okay,
if they
that's-
approve it. I'm not gonna, the only way that I'm going to expend those funds is I have to get something back from Jim Burns at EPA
okay.
saying that they're gonna approve
Oh, I got, all
that
right.
money to be spent.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if they say that, then I'll go ahead and do that, and they give me a pre-award that they, as of July 1st, but we won't get the money back from EPA. They don't actually
October.
release monies until October.
So we're just sort of paying forward at this moment.
And if they say no in a week and a half, then it doesn't get spent, and we'll have to figure out another way to do it.
Okay.
And otherwise, we're still moving forward with that project.
That, it certainly makes it easier for them if we can help out with that cost, and
But
that's
w- when are they-
covered by the assessment grant.
Anticipating?
If they can get the PCBs cleaned up this summer, Mr. Carnes is hoping to have a crew in there late fall to start renovations on that.
Nice. Good.
Took a little longer than expected, though, didn't it?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Usually
Yeah,
does.
he went out and personally got the historic tax credits himself and paid for them, so it's just to try to move everything forward faster.
Hmm.
But it has taken longer than we hoped it would have.
Well, that's good news, though. At least it's
Yep.
going forward. Good. Do I have a recommendation to bring this forward?
Yes, move this item to recommend to the full council for approval.
A second?
All those in favor? So moved. And, next item is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
A second?
All in favor? All right, who's next? We go right into the-
It's the Public
Public
Services.
Services.
That's Carol.
It's Carol May. Okay.
I'll call the Public Services Committee to order. We have one item on our agenda. It's a request from the American Legion for an easement from the city to use the land between their building located on 20 Water Street and the city parking lot. They would like to build a deck onto their building. Yes.
Evening.
Dave Russell, Code Officer.
Mr. Russell.
I'm sure you read through the letter. This is kind of an interesting scenario that we've got here. They came to me late winter, early spring, wanting to do the deck. All the maps that I have, our tax map, shows that we own up to the left-hand side of their building. They have been told from past employees that at one time they were granted the other 40 feet from Sam Gordon and Dave Goldsmith. We can't find that in any records. They've been to the registry, we've looked online. However, in 1980, the then Bangor Hydro requested an easement across that from the American Legion post, which shows somewhere there is some kind of a tidal trail to that. What I'm going to do is have Willie King look at the deeds for when all the parcels were transferred, which is now the city park, to see how that calls out. I truly believe that they did receive that property. It's just I don't have anything in writing to show that. That's what Willie will provide for us. Summer's here. If in fact that doesn't work out that way and we own the property, they would just like to get their deck started so that they can use it. it'd be similar, if they don't own the property, similar to what we've done for Yamas with the easement. And that's what they're here asking. To be granted an easement, we will still follow through, and at such time that we find that they do in fact own that property, then the easement would just, we'd just have an order to just, just dissolve that.
Okay, so this is basically just giving them the go-ahead so they can build the,
So they can start
They can
and
start.
enjoy the summer and.
and if at the end of the day, if we own it, we've already
It's still
granted
just
them
an
the easement. If they own it, then we just
Dissolve
away.
that.
Well, it looks like, we've already kind of set a precedent
Yeah.
across the street, so.
And
And we've done that on several occasions for.
so this is on the, obviously, the city park side that they want to put.
Yes, the grass area where they have their flagpole,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and as I say, what I see here with the request from Bangor Hydro to have easements from the post, somewhere somebody indicated that was their property. We just,
And we don't use the land for, even if it is ours,
no,
we
they,
don't
they,
use it for
they,
anything.
they maintain their side of the building
Yeah.
very nicely, and
And it looks nice over there.
So I'm assuming at some point they'll come back, like I see tonight later on the agenda, we have to approve to allow alcohol for Yamas.
Yes.
We'll have to do that at some point, I'm assuming, for the Legion?
yes.
Yes, okay.
All right. So you want a recommendation to the full council?
Please.
I move to recommend this item to the full council for approval.
Second? Thank you. All
Would it,
those-
would it be presumptive of me to issue a building permit so they can start that deck?
I mean, the people that are on the council, are you in favor of this? On the council, on the committee, I should say. I'd
Yes,
say you're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
First, we'll take a vote, though.
Oh, yes.
All in favor? Okay. All right. Yes, the whole committee's here. Okay. That was good. May I have a motion to adjourn? Second?
Second?
All in favor? Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay, so we good to go? Patty? Okay. All right. Want to do flags? then?
Mhm.
Good. I call the June 20th, 2016 special council meeting to order. Flag salute, Councilor May. Thank you. Roll call.
Silent roll call has been taken and a quorum is present.
Approval of the minutes. There are none. Petitions, communications, citizens' requests. At this time, there's an item on the agenda that somebody would like to talk about. Nope. Okay, move on to reports. Council President. I just wanted to congratulate the high school softball and baseball teams. Very well job done on Saturday. Very good. So congratulations to them. And we'll discuss a little bit later, but it looks like we'll be meeting here again this Thursday at 6:30. Standing committees. None. Okay. City councilors.
Yes. I would like to say something. The city's working very hard to make it a presentable city so people would want to come and visit here, and we want it to look nice. But I'm tired of seeing old mattresses on the curbs, nobody picking them up, and all these yard sale signs, it's yard sale season, blowing off, nobody picking them up, and it looked bad. Saturday, we had the Relay for Life here in Old Town, and I make it my duty to go out there and pick every cigarette butt, anything else up, because they're coming from out of town. They don't want us to think that we're not caring about our town. I think it's wicked important. We're spending all kinds of money to improve the downtown, so we'll have more economic development, but we gotta do our part too.
I agree. What happens, that's a good point, Jan. When people put things outside of the house, and no one picks them up, what happens to that? I mean, at a certain point, someone call John and John just picks them up, or they just sit there?
PD will get involved.
So if that happens, people can call the police, and the police will call Mr. Russell.
No, it goes the other direction.
Other direction, gotcha.
Actually, yeah, I get contacted. John has been going around getting addresses, which I will then forward to PD,
Okay.
and then they will get a letter. It's the same with abandoned vehicles. They have X amount of days to get rid of it. After that time, fines start to accrue.
So you send them a letter in the mail, or you actually drop it off face to face?
We usually send the letter, but like for one instance on a couple motor vehicles, we went up, did a knock and talk on the door, and that had some pretty good results.
Yeah, they were
Yes,
gone in
yes.
just
So,
Right.
a few days.
yeah, so if we don't get anything back from the owner, we'll go up and knock on the door and make face-to-face contact. That usually gets results
Okay.
before we start fining.
Yep. Great.
What about the yard sale signs out left up on the, we can go and contact those people, because that's litter.
Right, when they put, I mean, by law, I didn't think you're supposed to put it on the telephone pole, are you?
Nope.
I mean, I know every city and town does it, but I'm pretty sure by law you're not supposed to. But I thought people were supposed to take those down like within 24 hours after it's over. But I know they stay up there and they blow around.
I guess the best suggestion I would have is that if you see it, just give us a call and we can go over and take a look at where it is and make contact with the homeowner.
Yeah, because it gives you the address of where
Yeah.
where it is.
Yeah, it says the address. And it's just courtesy that if you put it up, you take it down.
Well, and
But
some aren't even in Old Town.
no,
I see
most
some that are
of them-
advertising Milford and
Yeah.
Bradley and other things. So.
What
Very
about the
good.
recent political signs? I saw a couple of those. It's up to the,
It's supposed to be removed within 48 hours.
there's a couple of Poliquin signs I've noticed, so I was wondering about those.
I can try to, get a hold of the party.
But as a citizen, can I go and take them down?
Oh,
or
I don't think so. I don't think you're
Okay, I
supposed.
kind of thought that.
You can, you can take the yard sale signs down.
Actually, you're going to get a letter from the from the police.
You can gather the yard sale signs up.
I can do that.
Yeah, you can take those down.
Keep in mind, yard sale signs are on the telephone and electrical poles. That's property of.
I do.
them.
Right.
I don't know if you want to talk to them about it. They're supposed to be asking permission to do that, but I don't think.
For the years, the people that don't ask.
Those
no.
poles along Center Street have so many nails, you couldn't
Yeah.
get another sign in there if you tried.
A very good point. Yeah, to bring that stuff out. Thank you. Any other counselors? Nope. City attorney?
No, thank you, Mr. President.
There we go. Special committees. City manager.
I already mentioned the assessment grant. Working on that. I have to have the work plan back to them by July 8th. And the PERC MRC information, we should have something back on that by Wednesday. Hopefully tomorrow, but we should have back a couple answers.
So that will help us with Thursday night's meeting, so we could take a vote on that, which I know everybody's been thinking about that, but that could settle that one once and for all. Good, thank you. Okay, we're gonna move right on to consent agenda. New business items number 1 and 2, Councilor Klitsch.
Resolved, the City of Old Town Council hereby approves the suggested motions under new business items 1 and 2 as presented. I got it. I get it. Okay. Number one, the city council will consider approval of an application from the Penobscot Nation for a major special events permit for the Penobscot River Whitewater Nationals Regatta to be held in Riverfront Park and to waive the permit fee.
We're at number 2, yep.
The city council will consider accepting a deadline redemption of foreclosed property on, I don't know how to say that street.
It's for
Bay.
Deutsche Bank.
Mackenzie Joy? Located at South Spring Street for payment of the 2016 real estate taxes and the 2013 to present sewer fees in the amount of $2,555.52.
Great, thank you.
Second.
Second is Carol. Discussion? None? All those in favor? None opposed? We have tonight, that's 5 of us, right? Okay. Move on to public hearings and second reading of ordinances. The Old Town City Council will conduct a second reading for final approval on the proposed FY 2016-2017 municipal, county, and school budget. The proposed budget calls for city expenditures of $9,465,100, Penobscot County taxes of $624,980, and RSU number 34 expenditures of $5,685,052, for a total city, county, and RSU number 34 budget of $15,775,132, with total city revenue of $5,146,340, anticipated transfers from reserve accounts and fund balance of $959,981, for a net property tax requirement of $9,688,811. I'll open the public hearing. I would like to get a motion on this to postpone this part of the agenda to this Thursday, 6/23/16 for 6:30 p.m. due to we don't have all the council here tonight. And so if I can get a motion to do that. Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, Linda, second. Okay, discussion. And the reason why I really think we need to have a lot of us here, because every budget's important, but this year, you know, all I'm going to say is we do have a couple irons in the fires for the mill property, and if something doesn't come of that for next year's budget, we're going to be looking at a very high increase if we don't use any monies at all to offset that. So this is very important that as many councils are here as possible to vote on this year's budget, because this will help offset next year. So that's all I want to say on that. Any other discussion? All those in favor? None opposed? 0. Okay, so moving on to item number 2, correct? Old Town City Council will conduct a second reading for the final approval on the proposed FY 2016-2017 pollution control budget, containing gross appropriations of $1,877,778, user fee revenue of $768,200, debt redemption of $619,735, anticipated transfers from reserve accounts of $419,716, with a net appropriation to fund balance of $70,127. Open the public hearing. Bill, Miles, anything on this? Pretty much status from last time.
I mean, like we talked about the last meeting, the largest accounts that you see a difference in there is in the 8,292 and 293 accounts, which are basically covering the pump station projects that are upcoming. And there's a new category in there we had to put in short-term assets in for this year, and then obviously the rate increase of 5%. That's the biggest changes in the budget for wastewater.
And I just want to touch on that, because I think I'm right on this, that if something does not happen down the road with the mill property, it might be more of a 5% increase, because they were a big user, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that might.
So
Not this year's budget, but next year's budget, they could be asking not just for 5%, but even more than that because of that.
Yes, the revenues generated by the mill were about 13% of the total sewer revenue. So the 5% increase was intended to partially reimburse for the capital expenditures coming up. They didn't cover at all anything that's going on with the mill closure.
Okay. Any other discussion on this item? Councilors, anything? Whoops. Okay. Close the public hearing. City Council will consider final approval on the proposed FY 2016-2017 pollution control budget. Councilor May.
Resolve, the Old Town City Council hereby approves the proposed FY 2016-2017 pollution control budget containing gross appropriations of $1,877,778, user fee revenue of $768,200, debt redemption of $619,716, and anticipated transfers from reserve accounts of $419,716 with a net appropriation to fund balance of $70,127.
Okay, is there a, before I get a second, do we?
You have an amended, should have that in your packet here. I think Patty.
Yeah,
That's
it's
that
number,
up to
number
you.
2 at the bottom.
We still need a second.
Okay.
Right, and then I got it, because then we have to vote on the
Just wanna
motion
make
as
sure
amended,
that-
correct?
We need a second
Right,
I'll
on that
second.
one.
Yeah.
And then someone needs to amend it.
Right.
With what I prepared for
yes,
you.
yep. So we got a second on that.
Second.
Linda did.
Oh, yeah.
Linda just seconded. So could I get somebody to read
The amendment?
the amendment?
I'll read
Motion to amend.
We're doing number 2 on the bottom. The Old Town City Council will conduct a public hearing on proposed FY 2016-2017 pollution control budget containing a gross appropriations of $1,877,778, user fee revenue of $709,900, debt redemption of $619,735, and an anticipated transfers from reserve accounts of $335,000 with a net appropriations from fund balance of $213,143.
Okay, can I get a second?
I'll second the amendment.
So that's Carol, so I'm gonna second that. So Carol seconded that one. And discussion? All those,
Let me just clarify for the record, because I incorrectly wrote that. It should be the city council hereby approves the
But the
proposed.
proposed
Approves,
budget.
yeah.
Okay.
Not the,
Yeah.
not the public hearing.
Mhm.
My apologies.
okay. So we're gonna vote on the amendment, and then we're gonna vote on the motion as amended, correct? So right now, we're voting on the amendment. All those in favor?
Oh,
Roll
roll
call
call.
vote.
I'm sorry. I'm used to being in charge. I'm sorry.
Counselor Roach.
Yes.
Counselor Klitsch.
Yes.
Counselor May.
Yes.
Counselor McLeod.
Yes.
And Counselor Mahan.
Yes. So now we're voting on the motion as amended.
Correct. Counselor Roach.
Yes.
Counselor Klitsch.
Yes.
Counselor May.
Yes.
Counselor McLeod.
Yes.
Counselor Mahan.
Yes. Thank you. So we move on to item number 3. The Old Town City Council will conduct a second reading on the updated 2016 comprehensive plan. The updated 2016 comprehensive plan was reviewed and unanimously approved and recommended for adoption by the Old Town City Council by the Old Town Planning Board at their May 17, 2016 meeting. Open the public hearing. Anyone like to discuss this item? Anything you want to change, Dave, before this happens?
We're going to do a total rewrite. No, and I just want to take the opportunity one more time, because this is going to be it for this. For city staff, they put in a lot of time and helped me out immensely. The councilors, the planning board members, the committee members, they all did a really good job. There's a lot of thought put into it. The citizens that showed up after meeting, the roundtable discussions with stakeholders, it was, I was pleased with how it went. And of course, Kat Bodwin, who did a fantastic job, and I just appreciate everybody's help, and it gives us a vision for the next 20 years.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think we said this at the last meeting, the council appreciates everything that Dave, you did, and the staff did, and Kat also. Any other discussion? Close the public hearing. Item number 3A, the city council consider final approval and adoption of the 2016 comprehensive plan. Councilor Klitsch.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby approves the 2016 comprehensive plan as recommended by the planning board.
Is there a second?
Second.
EJ, discussion? This is a roll call vote.
Oh, he's got it.
Yeah, I got it now.
Counselor Roach,
Yes.
Counselor Klitsch.
Yes.
Counselor May,
Yes.
Counselor McLeod,
Yes.
and Counselor Mahan.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Moving on to item number 4. The Old Town City Council will conduct a second reading of an order pertaining to the issuance of bonds and notes in amounts not to exceed $1,650,000 for the purpose of financing all or a portion of the cost of any or all acquisition, design, construction, rehabilitation, upgrading, and equipping of sewer pump station facilities in the city and other improvements functionally related and subordinate to the foregoing. Open the public hearing.
I'm Ty Sullivan, Woodland Avenue. Councilor Mahan, did you open and close the discussion for the budget, the city budget?
We postponed it till Thursday at 6:30. So we'll be back here Thursday night. So we didn't close it because all we did was postpone it.
Okay. What if a concerned citizen couldn't be here on Thursday night?
We are going to go by, I believe, how many hours do we need? 24-hour notice to post it? 24 hours notice to post it, so we'll be doing that. If you cannot be there, you can definitely voice your opinion to Bill and I after the meeting. If you want to do that, that's fine. I've already gone past the stage, so I'm not going to go back to that.
Okay.
This is about the...
I understand. I have a question about this as well.
Okay.
But it seems to me I should be able to speak about the budget. I came here tonight, put together some thoughts, and
you could definitely
it's
give
not
those
like you got a standing room only crowd here who are going to speak about the budget. And me talking to you in private really isn't that meaningful.
Yeah, you can definitely give us papers and stuff. We can pass them out to the council.
That's not what I came prepared to do. My question about the sewer bonds is, are those, the cost of those bonds, is that borne by all the residents of Old Town or just by people who are users of the
So
sewer
I
system?
believe it's a user fee. Is that correct?
The user fee covers.
It is. You do have the option as a city to help fund that, but as of now, that has not happened. It's been user fees.
What I think you're asking is, maybe I'm wrong, but are you asking that basically anybody that uses it, who is everybody paying for it, or just the user fee people that are? Is that what you're asking?
Yep.
Just the users of the system.
I'm sorry?
Just the users of the system.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else on this item? Close the public hearing. 4A, the City Council consider final approval of an order pertaining to the issuance of bonds and notes in the amounts not to exceed $1,650,000. EJ.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby approves an order presented at this meeting pertaining to the issuance of bonds and notes in amounts not to exceed $1,650,000 for the purpose of financing all or a portion of the cost of any or all acquisition, design, construction, rehabilitation, upgrading, and equipping a sewer pump station facilities in the city and other improvements functionally related to and subordinate to the foregoing.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Council Klitsch, discussion? None, it's a roll call vote.
Counselor Roach,
Yes.
Yes.
Klitsch,
Yes.
Counselor May,
Yes.
Counselor McLeod,
Yes.
and Counselor Mahan.
Yes. Okay, moving on to item number 4B. The city council consider approval of the terms and conditions of a proposed loan in an amount not to exceed $1,650,000 and a grant in the amount of $550,000 each from the United States of America and acting through its Rural Utilities Service. Council McLeod.
Resolved, the City Council of the City of Old Town approves and accepts in all respects a proposed loan of $1,650,000 at an interest rate not to exceed 1 3/4%, 1.75%, for a period of 29 years from USDA Rural Development for the purpose of pump station upgrades in accordance with loan resolution Public Bodies RUS Bulletin 1780-27 and proposed grant in the amount of $550,000 in accordance with a grant agreement RUS Bulletin 1780-12 and the resolution of the board to authorize the treasurer and the city clerk to execute and deliver all documents and to take any and all actions necessary to carry into effect such financing, including but not limited to Form RD 400-1 Equal Opportunity Agreement and Form RD 400-4 Assurances Agreement.
Okay, is there a second? Council Klitsch, discussion? Let's roll call vote.
Counselor Roach?
Yes.
Counselor Klitsch?
Yes.
Counselor May?
Yes.
Counselor McLeod?
Yes.
And Counselor Mahan?
Yes. Okay, moving on to 4C. City Council will consider the adoption of the loan resolution bulletin in the form presented to this meeting and otherwise required by the United States of America acting through its Rural Utility Service in connection with a loan not to exceed $1,650,000 and a grant in the amount of $550,000. Councilor May.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby approves and adopts the loan resolution, RUS Bulletin 1780-27, presented at this meeting pertaining to a loan from the United States of America, acting through its Rural Utility Service in connection with a loan not to exceed $1,650,000 and a grant in the amount of $550,000 for the purpose of financing all or a portion of the cost of any or all acquisition, design, construction, rehabilitation, upgrading, and equipping of sewer pump station facilities in the city and other improvements functionally related and subordinate to the foregoing.
Okay, is there a second? Linda, discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Klitsch?
Yes.
Counselor May?
Yes.
Counselor McLeod?
Yes.
Counselor Roach?
Yes.
And Counselor Mahan?
Yes. Okay, moving on to 4D. The City Council consider approval of the Water and Waste System Grant Agreement between the City and the United States of America acting through its Rural Utility Service in the form presented to this meeting and otherwise required by the United States of America acting through its Rural Utility Service in connection with a grant in the amount of $550,000. Councilor Klitsch.
Resolved, that City Old Town Council hereby approves Water and Waste System Agreement presented at a meeting pertaining to a grant for the United States of America, acting through its Rural Utility Service in the amount of $550,000 for the purpose of financing all or a portion of the cost of any or all acquisition, design, construction, rehabilitation, upgrading, and equipping of sewer pump station facilities in the city and other improvements functionally related and subordinate to the foregoing. And further resolved that Old Town City Council hereby authorizes treasurer and its city clerk to execute and deliver RUS Bulletin Number 1780-12, quote, Water and Waste System Grant Agreement, unquote, or on behalf of the City of Old Town subsequently in the form presented to this meeting with such changes and additions as they, in their discretion, may deem necessary or appropriate. And further resolved that Old Town City Council, acting through its appropriate officers as designated in its organizational documents, take all necessary and appropriate steps to carry out transactions contemplated by the Water and Sewer System Grant Agreement approved at this meeting.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Council McLeod. Discussion? Discussion? This is a roll call vote.
Yes.
Counselor McLeod?
Yes.
Counselor Roach?
Yes.
Counselor Klitsch?
Yes.
And Counselor Mahan?
Yes. Okay, moving on to item number 5. The Old Town City Council conduct a second reading of an order pertaining to the issuance of bonds and notes not to exceed $1,743,000 for the purpose of financing all or a portion of the costs of any of all acquisition, design, construction, rehabilitation, upgrading, and equipping of all sewer facilities in or near Stillwater Avenue and also on, in, or near Elm Street in the city, and other improvements functionally related and subordinate to the foregoing. Open the public hearing. Anybody like to discuss this item? Okay. Close the public hearing. City Council consider final approval of an order pertaining to the issuance of bonds and notes in the amounts not to exceed $1,743,000. Council McLeod.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby approves an order presented at this meeting pertaining to the issuance of bonds and notes not to exceed $1,743,000 for the purpose of financing all or a portion of the cost of any of the acquisitions, design, construction, rehabilitation, upgrading, and equipping of sewer facilities or on, in, or near Stillwater Avenue, and also on, in, or near Elm Street in the city, and other improvements functionally related and subordinate to the foregoing.
Second.
Okay. Council May second. Discussion? This is a roll call vote.
Counselor McLeod?
Yes.
Counselor Roach?
Yes.
Counselor Klitsch?
Yes.
Counselor May?
Yes.
And Counselor Mahan?
Yes. Okay, we're moving on to new business. Item number 3, City Council consider renewing the legal services contract with Rudman and Windshield for legal services for the 2016-2017 fiscal year. The only change to the contract is the attorney hourly rate from $175 per hour to $185 per hour. Councilor Klitsch.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby renews the legal services contract with Rudman and Winchell for legal services for the 2016-2017 fiscal year effective July 1, 2016 to June 30th, 2017.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Carol, discussion? So everything else is the same, that's just that's the only thing. Okay. All those in favor? None opposed. Item number 4, the City Council consider approval of an application from the United Baptist Church for a major special event permit for community movie nights to be held in Riverfront Park and to waive the permit fee. Councilor Roach.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby approves an application from the United Baptist Church for a major special event permit for the community movie nights to be held in Riverfront Park on July 22nd, August 12th, and August 26th, 2016, and to waive the permit fee.
Is there a second?
Second. Okay.
Carol, discussion?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Do we know what movies are gonna show?
The 3 original Star Wars movies.
Have you purchased the rights to show those?
We have a video license through the church.
To show outdoors? There's a
I
difference.
believe it includes that. I will check.
Okay. I'd like to see that before we...
Well, because I know at the university, you got to pay a fee.
There
do
is a
that.
difference between inside movie license and outdoor movie license. No.
No, there's a fee. I know there's a fee for
Doesn't
it.
even
Have you
watch that.
paid the fee and everything to get that license?
We have. I don't have it with me, but I do have it.
Okay. Well, I mean, if we approve it and if they don't have the right permit, if they don't have the right authorization, they wouldn't be doing it anyways.
Right.
Right?
Correct.
So, I mean, we can still approve it on our end, but if they don't have the right one, they're going to have to go back and get the right one anyways.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor? None opposed? Definitely check on that to make sure you're all set to go.
We will.
Thank you. City Council consider request from Bar and Grill to allow alcohol to be served on the outside deck in an enclosed area. I was looking at you, I don't know.
I was hoping to sneak that deck past you, but.
I did, yeah. Councilor May.
Resolve, the Old Town City Council hereby approves a request from Yama's Bar and Grill to allow alcohol to be served on the outside deck in an enclosed area contingent upon inspector approvals.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
And Council Glitch discussion. So I noticed, where is Dave? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I noticed that I'm sorry. That was for the, all the roll call votes. I noticed the railings aren't up. I'm assuming once they get up.
Yes, the railings have arrived. They were ordered special. It's going to be a very nice looking deck out there.
But they won't do anything until that's up and
No.
you approve and Patty approves.
Myself, Dave Daniel, the fire marshal, and the state liquor inspector have all been over there, and they know exactly what they have to do. And
Okay.
so they won't be allowed until the railings are
So,
up.
till you sign off. Okay.
I was just going to say that normally this would be part of their liquor license on an annual basis. It's because their liquor license has already been approved and didn't enclose the diagram for the outside. That the state would have taken the code enforcer and the fire department's okay, but they're not the ones that approve the license, you folks are. So I wasn't comfortable with that, and, you are the approving authority, you need to approve this part of it. So next year when they come for their renewal,
It'll be included.
it'll all be a part of it, just like the American Legion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boom house and all that.
House.
So it's all gonna be in the motion that we read, that'll cover all that.
Correct. It'll be part of their application process.
Gotcha.
It's just because this is new and it wasn't included in their initial license application.
Right, makes sense.
I have a question. When you have these outdoor facilities like this, the alcohol's gotta stay within that area. They can't take it out.
No,
It stays right
there will
there.
be an emergency exit on the far left-hand end of that to pacify the fire marshal's office. But that's not to be entered. It'll be alarmed, so if somebody tries to go out or come in that way, it'll be alarmed, so they'll know. They have to enter through the establishment to go outside.
The alcohol stays on premise. It
That
doesn't,
is,
okay.
that is correct.
So even if they pay the bill and they're done drinking and eating, they still can't go out that emergency. That's something's gonna go off. The alarm will go off.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions? All those in favor? None opposed. City Council will consider authorizing city manager to expend $14,000 from fund balance for a cleanup of the PCBs at the Jefferson Street School. Councilor May.
Resolve, the Old Town City Council hereby approves authorizing the city manager to expend $14,000 from fund balance account 00380 for cleanup of PCBs at the Jefferson Street School.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
And discussion? Like you said, you're not gonna spend a thing unless we.
Right.
Okay. All those in favor? In favor, Jan? Yep. Yep, opposed? Perfect, thank you. Okay, the last item, the city council consider going into executive session for the purpose of discussing an economic development issue relating to the Experior Mill. I'd like to get a motion to postpone this one as well till Thursday at 6/23/16. There's nothing to report tonight.
I'll make that. So moved.
I'll
Second.
second. Okay.
Linda, and then Jan. Discussion? All those in favor? None opposed? And then a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
Second. Carol, there is no discussion. All those in favor? None opposed. Thank you very